discretion, I certainly would respect your right as a parent.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks.
Anybody else like to speak into public input before we move on? Okay. Before we get to the appointment and search, oh, I'm sorry.
Can I speak just very briefly?
Sure. Just mention your name for the record.
Sure, of course. Michael Ostman. We appreciate the time to be able to vent our frustration and certainly speak to what our concerns are. And in the interest of not belaboring the points that were just made, I think that it certainly warrants just a brief outline in our frustration as parents in receiving the notice that this process was more or less inevitable and was going to be taking place. And as Ted just outlined, it seems like a very reasonable course of action would have been to first of all have a discussion up front that due to a shortage in numbers in the enrollment, that there's a possibility that there may be a consolidation that's going to be taking place. As a new parent here and having my first child enrolled in the program, our expectation was that this would be a 2-year program, rolling him into kindergarten and then the subsequent elementary grades that would transpire after that. And as a result, we were expecting him to be in the same place with the same teacher and with some of the same children that were in the first year. But with this transition, it uproots a lot of the things that we weren't expecting to be taking place. And certainly there are the issues of convenience from a parent standpoint. There's also the issues of how it's going to play out for my son in particular. I mean, I'm certainly concerned about the community as a whole, but being honest, I'm concerned about my son and how this is going to affect him. And then my daughter, who will be starting this program in a 1.5 years' time, what's going to happen with her and where's the program going to be, and is there going to be another switch if the numbers don't ferret out having it in one location, and is there going to be another location where this is going to be held? So it's just the inconsistency that I think that we're all a little concerned about. And again, just summarizing right now, understanding you have a lot of other business that you need to get to, our ideal situation, if it's an inevitable reality that this is going to have to consolidate down, is if there is a transition that would be able to take place so that our children who are in the first year would be able to finish out that second year, allowing the next group of parents that are coming in to understand this is what's going to be taking place. There is going to be a transition. It's going to be taking place in 1 year and going about it in that fashion. So again, I thank you for your time.
Anyone else? Okay. We just have to accept a gift and approve a high school music trip, and then we can get on to appoint the search committee. So, oh, Jonathan, I'm sorry. And of course, our cert report.
I know, they're very interesting.
I'm sorry.
Your favorite part of the meeting.
You're the reason we're here.
Absolutely. To make these as most interesting as possible, considering you guys have a meeting next week, we tried to cut it down, the student reps and Dr. Manuel. So I don't have as much, and I don't have as much student work to talk about, but we do have some. Progress reports were mailed last Friday. The AP Gov classes, I believe there's 2 of the classes, they went to the JFK library last week, and they did an activity where they did federal spending. They managed a budget they had to do. I wasn't there, but it sounded interesting. The a cappella group Notorious sang at the Flint Library last Friday. The Miser, the fall play, they made it to semifinals in Theater Fest or Drama Fest.
And that's Saturday in Brockton.
Saturday in Brockton, yep. And I believe there's a bus going there, a fan bus that kids can take. Sports awards are tomorrow night for the winter sports. There was a college planning night for juniors last Thursday. I went. It was very informative. They talked about, this is what you want to do for what colleges you want to look at. They said they're going to have a financial one for the seniors in December, I believe. But this was more planning to go. Seniors had an assembly last Friday concerning their senior week and their senior trip, rafting on May 16th and 17th. The Eco team had a movie night on the 25th of February. They showed Earth. The book club had a meeting. They read Life of Pi. and their next book is In Cold Blood, excuse me. And then the boys basketball made it to the second round where they played Wayland, and the girls made it to the first round of the tournament where they played Stoneham. And SAD volleyball, their volleyball night's this Friday. I do have to say I'm not very good, but I'm going to try playing. And then my student work, I like to print out things. It makes it easier to talk about it. Spanish project. This teacher likes to give a project every term. I like it. This term it's a paper, and you have to write a 3-page paper. 4 actually, but 3 pages in English, and you have to pick a topic about Spain, the topic Spain. So you see some topics down the bottom. You see some culture, immigration, the terrorism attacks, the welfare system, and then Spain's role in the EU. So you can pick whatever topic you want. You have to develop a thesis for it. So I think I'm going to do Spain's role in the EU. So I haven't researched it yet, but if it was Spain has a large impact in the EU, you have to develop your thesis, write a 3-page paper. 2 of your sources have to be in Spanish, 3 are in English, and then you have to write a 1-page summary in Spanish. So you also have to use, all the tenses we've learned, whatever, preterite, progressive, imperfect, all that kind of stuff. And on the back is just some grading things, and you also have to make a visual. So we made a website last term for our project, so you can use that technology you learned. You can do a PowerPoint poster if people still make posters, but
I'm
that's.
impressed.
It's good to see the one, I was going to ask you about why aren't you writing the paper in Spanish, but I think the 1-page summary is, it's a good challenge to summarize
Right.
everything in that 1 page in Spanish.
The English allows you to go in detail about
Right.
what you want to talk about, and then the Spanish lets you bring in the stuff you learned in
Yeah.
class.
Wow, Chris, at least half the presentation should be in Spanish.
Yes, that's very hard.
Yes, it is. We'll look forward to that.
Thank you,
The
guys.
next time you come back to the committee, okay? All right.
I did want to expand on that, the maskers thing. It's quite an accomplishment. It's only the second year they've been in this competition, and we've had a maskers program for 50 years in the school. And they are in most of the schools that are in this: Danvers High, Brockton High, Peabody High. They're giant schools, and for North Reading to advance to the semifinals is quite an accomplishment. And they also won a number of individual awards at the preliminaries at Ipswich High School. So the staff and the students involved did a great job on that.
Well, thank you. That's a lot. Okay. Next, we have a gift to approve. We have a donation from Danny and Gary Meyer of Elite Fitness in Reading, who've donated 2 pieces of fitness equipment to the high school for the weight room. The value is set at $7,000. Can we have a motion to accept? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We should add
Thank you.
with
With
gratitude.
gratitude,
With
absolutely.
Yes.
We-
Awesome pieces of equipment.
Yes.
We have a request by the band, the jazz band and the marching band and the chorus to go on their biannual trip. Last time they went to New York City and participated in some educational events. This time they're going down to Virginia Beach. It is scheduled for Thursday and Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
I just had I see Mr. Foreman is here. I think this trip is great. I'm really concerned about the price, and if kids can't afford that, is there going to be a way that we'll be able to get everybody from the band there?
As you can see, there's fundraising that the kids have already participated in, so that's already cut. That's the flat, but the price that's there is what it costs to go.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any kid that's gonna have to come up with all that, because they've already fundraised to cut that cost down. That's listed there. There were many opportunities, caroling, chorograms during school, the planner books that we sell, different other events that we've had for fundraising, so the kids have money in their accounts. That's going to knock that price down. And of course, the music boosters will help in all